surprise visits of the Israeli immigration clerks at the houses of couples. Does this happen? What can you do if this does happen to you? Hi, my name is Joshua Pex. I'm an Israeli immigration lawyer, and sometimes couples come to us. They're in the process of obtaining legal status for the foreigner in Israel. They've been to an interview at the Israeli Immigration Authority called the Minister of Interior, and sometimes in this interview the clerk asks the couple separately all kinds of questions about each other. What's their birthdays? What did they do together? What did they buy each other presents for their birthday? And people answer, they forget things, they make mistakes. And sometimes I hear couples say, I wish the immigration clerk that asked me all these questions would just come to my house. They would see how we live. They see that we're together. They would see that we love each other. So the good news is that yes, this does happen, but it's not like you can invite the clerk to the house. Rather, it's done by surprise, and this is called surprise visits of the immigration authority to people's houses. So in general, we're talking about the gradual process over the course of between 5 and 7 years from the beginning until the end. The foreigner has the right to gain Israeli citizenship. Usually the immigration authorities will check 3 things. They'll check the center of life in Israel. They'll check the authenticity of the relationship, that it's a real relationship, and also whether there's any criminal issue that would hinder the process. But many times the issue of checking the authenticity of a relationship is very crucial. And sometimes, although it's very rare, but sometimes immigration authority will knock on the door of a couple, and many times it's early in the morning, and say, we want to come in and check if you're here together, if you're living together. So first of all, is this legal? Maybe you don't know, but at the beginning of the process, many times couples, you sign, many declarations and documents, but many times in one of these documents, it will be like many times in very small letters, but it will say that you do allow immigration officers, immigration clerks to visit the house, and failure to cooperate, or if you refuse entry to the house, this can have implications of stopping the process or canceling the visa. On the other hand, in Israel, people have a right to privacy, and legally, usually entering a house of someone actually requires the state authority to have a court order. Sometimes in criminal cases, a police officer can enter a house if there's reasonable suspicion of a crime, but here we're not talking about a criminal issue, rather administrative law. And so first of all, you do have the legal right to refuse. You can say, no, we will not allow you in. On the other hand, if you do so, especially if you gave consent at the beginning, it very well may have implications on the gradual process. Most of the time, couples are really living together and authentic, so immigration officers will enter. They will see, first of all, that the couple is there together. They can check that the belongings are together, even toothbrushes, things like that, just to check that people are actually living together. So these surprise visits are very rare for different reasons. First of all, I think there's just a practical reason that it's a lot of resources. There's not enough immigration clerks just to visit every couple. But also they're difficult to conduct. They're many times done early in the morning. Sometimes there are calls also to people's houses just asking. And these days, because so many people are using cell phones, it's a little bit different. But anyway, if you're asking yourself, will there be a surprise visit? Most likely not. This is rare. On the other hand, yes, it could happen. If you have any questions regarding immigration to Israel or the gradual process for obtaining Israeli status at the Ministry of Interior, please don't hesitate to contact us.